Gemma, isn't it?
No, not really. Couriers don't like delivering letters here.
Like secretary.
Not at all. It means I'm not being hounded by the college. God's help us.
Hey everybody, it's commentary time. I would like to thank Gemma for this submission. The contract stipulates that we must infiltrate the Mage College and assassinate J'zargo. And it further dictates that we must do what we can to make it look like some kind of an accident. So, if you're at all familiar with J'zargo, you know that he is an individual who has a reputation for engaging in risky magical experiments. And if you've done the Mage quest, there is a little side quest where J'zargo will have you testing some scrolls for him that turn out to be pretty bad, actually. So he's got a reputation for doing risky things with magic, so it stands to reason that one of these experiments might turn around to bite him in the ass, so to speak. So here I'm approaching from the back side. I'm going to be using Drop Zone for quite a lengthy drop. There's some challenge every once in a while in hitting the drop zone, especially with these long drops. It's crazy. The free fall, you can steer a little bit, and it's very easy sometimes to miss your target, especially from the really long drops like that. That is why I like to prep the spell and walk off the edge and cast the spell as I'm falling. There is a very small window of opportunity when you can pull that off, but it makes it easier to hit the target, I think. Okay, so here I'm going to blink just to get to the top of this rise. And what we are going to do is we're going to infiltrate the Mage College by way of the Midden. To get into the Midden, we come up here on this rock platform, and you can see this cave entrance. Now, this would not be possible without Blink. So Blink will allow us to get up to this ledge, and in there we will find the entry into the Midden. All right, we made it in. Now, we've got to navigate our way through the midden here in order to get up into the college itself. We've got a giant spider here. I'm using Compelling Whispers on one of the spiders. And while these two nasty creatures are fighting one another, we're going to sneak past. Now, we got to get through a doorway here that's covered by spider webs. What I did is I'm using Ice Shield to put enough of a hole in there that I can blink through it. As a matter of fact, I probably could have blinked through it without having to make an additional opening, but I wanted to leave the spider web sort of intact so that I was covering my flank. So we've got spider webs still stretched across the doorway. That means none of those nasty creatures can come up behind us. Plus, I like the idea also that if anybody investigates how the assassin got into the mage college, they'll come down here and, you know, kind of see spider webs intact. They might be less likely to think that somebody came in through the midden. I really, really enjoyed this assassination because part of the fun is the infiltration. I just love the infiltration, using the same skills that we use for performing the actual assassination to get into the spaces where we need to be. So it's very cool. Okay, so now at this point there's a couple skeletons in here, so I'm just going to blink across the room on top of that alchemy table there. Okay, so we cross that opening without alerting the skeletons. Now I'm going to scooch up the hall, and we're on our way. Now my goal was to get through the midden without killing anything. I mean, I really wanted to make it look to observers as though this was not a possible route, right? There's all kinds of nasty things in here. And so far, about all they would find is a dead spider. But we didn't kill it. It was killed by another spider. So that actually works out pretty well for us. Take a look in this chest while we're at it. And then I'm just going to blink back up. So I would really like to take this opportunity to thank those of you who have been submitting contracts. They're great. I've got, right now, with the production of this video, I've got 4 in the hopper that I'm going to be working on over the coming days. I will tell you that I will be going a little bit slower on production here. My goal was to try and catch up with the backlog, and I have successfully caught up with the backlog now. So, okay, I'm just going to blink up over that Draugr. And this really gets us through the midden at this point. It's up the stairs and to a ladder, unobstructed. So, successful infiltration. The infiltrations are always interesting because we can take our time with those. Typically, they don't know we're coming. It's the escapes where we actually have to move fast. So now we just need to navigate our way to the correct tower. Now, we are in the tower currently where most of the mages who teach here, this is the Hall of Attainment, I think it is. I think that's what it's called. We need to get to the opposite tower where the students live. Jazargo is actually a student at the college. So I used invisibility to ascend the stairs, and now I'm going to use blink to quickly travel over to the opposite tower. Always choosing my targets very carefully. It's very easy to blink to the wrong place, so you have to kind of be careful with that. Okay, now it is time to set up the actual assassination. So, I've got a strategy in mind for how I'm going to make this look like an accident. We start out with our favorite Ghost Walk, and I cast it well up the hallway. Now I'm going to dual cast a Frost Rune as I drop into the font. Okay, that pulls me out. Now we've got a dual cast rune down inside there, a Frost Rune. Now we go invisible again. And so what I did at this point is I used this opening as kind of a shortcut, jumping to the side so I didn't land inside the font. And now we're kind of looking around to locate Jazargo's room. We know that he's on this level, but I wasn't sure which room he was in. Okay, this is not him. There are 3 students who live here.
Have you heard from your family?
If we've got 2 present, in all likelihood,
not
Jazargo
really.
is here too.
Curious.
And there he is, right there. So I'm going to go to Conjuration, and our favorite, one of our favorites anyway, the Summoning Rune. I'm going to put it right there in his path, and now it is a waiting game. So if you recall the way the Summoning Rune works, we've gone over this in previous episodes because it is one that's extremely useful. A lot of utility in the Summoning Rune. Whoever hits that rune is going to be teleported directly in front of SHADEling. So now it's just a waiting game, and what I've done here is I've sped up the video. SHADEling is just patiently waiting for Jazargo to do what he needs to do. That is one of the things, a good assassin needs to be patient sometimes. You can't push the kill, otherwise you end up in a mess. So the way that I've set this up to look like an accident is I'm setting it up to make it look as if Jazargo was looking down into the font from the upper level and fell. Okay, so you can see there my ghost walk timed out, and I got back just in time to set it up. Boom, he hits the rune down, bang, into the frost rune. He's deposited into the pool, and then we make our getaway. So to the outside observer, it looks like Jazargo fell from the 2nd level into the pool, and there was some kind of magical discharge that killed him, which is actually reasonable when you think about it. There's also a side quest in the Mage College where you get a special glove and you have to go around to the fonts cleaning impurities out of them. Imagine, Jazargo fell in, and the speculation is that the magic inside the font rejected him as basically the ultimate impurity and killed him. So now we're going to make a very fast escape with an extremely long drop here. And this was tricky because I'm just casting it into the fog. I can't even see the landing zone. So I tried very hard not to move too much to get me off target or anything like that. And now we are making a rapid escape using long stride, which increases my movement rate. And hey, I want to thank you all. Gemma, thank you again for your submission. Thank you to all of you who have submitted, all of you who are watching this. And you know what? If you're interested in getting involved, you can go to patreon.charactercrusade.com, sign up for $1 or more a month contribution to CouchWarriorTV, and you can submit contracts to your heart's content on our Discord server. Thank you all very much, and I will see you next time.